Welcome to Double Dose of Raw Talk podcast, your weekly dose of many discussions and opinions, a show where we get comfortable being uncomfortable. And remember, no topic is off limits. Now let's talk about it. Welcome back, guys. Oh my goodness. To a new episode on Double Dose of Raw Talk podcast. Ooh, it feels great to be back. This is a new level of maturity, of confidence, and love with your favorite host, Miss D. I can't believe I'm even saying this right now. It has literally been, well, the day I'm recording this, it has literally been 400 days since I last got on this microphone. And listen, I owe y'all so much. The last episode you guys got was episode 133. It was the day before I turned 38. Y'all, that was November 17, 2023. I am a whole 39 years old right now, and I am in such a different headspace. It is wild, and baby, we're here. So let's talk about all of it. This is not going to be your typical, comeback episode, where it's all spiritual and emotional and that, affirmations and all that shit, because we're going to have plenty of time for all that. Because your girl's been definitely working a lot on herself, a lot on her future, a lot of what is current life. And, we're just in a space right now where there's a lot to tap into. This is going to be taken more so like, all right, y'all, she's back. But it's more like Ms. D did a double take. Like, what? Oh, you thought I wasn't coming back? Yeah, well, for one, that's my fault because I made y'all think that. Two, I needed to do better with myself. I'm not even gonna lie. I needed to do better with myself. I should have done better. I have, constantly said in the past, oh, you have to stay consistent and consistency this and consistency that. And you hear people talk about that shit all the time. And here I go giving you all this episode yeah, your girl's been working on this and there's so much going on, blah, 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 blah. And I'm going to come back and silence. A whole hiatus. And I think there's just so much that happened in this last fourth quarter of 2024 that it was besides several of you saying girl, you need to come back. We need your voice back on these podcast streets. It's damn, I've really had people who have been fucking with me. Second of all, okay, I don't even know if I hit it first of all, but second of all, in your true double dose fashion, right? How about those downloads still kept going? I was like, whoa, what's going on? I think I logged on maybe twice or three times in these last 400 days. And I was a little bit, shook that, we were still listening to the show. There was probably more people coming to the show. I definitely still talked about the show with a lot of different people that I met. And I'm pretty sure there was definitely some new followers and, listeners downloading. So shout out to all of you. And, I it just resonated with me in this last quarter of this year that I needed to wake the fuck up, and a lot has happened that woke me the fuck up. And so your favorite host, Miss D, she is back, y'all. And there's so much I'm excited to share with you guys. There is so many decisions that I've made. There's so much transitioning going on right now, transformation, I guess you could call it, not just for me, but in my home, You already know your girl's a home mom, and she's about to be a mom to a whole ass adult in 2025. Blessings over my child. And there's like a lot of decision making going on there. There's so much that has, been of a test essentially. And I was like, damn, like what is going on? Like, is this what happens? Like, did I put my mother through this? He's still a great kid though, but it's just, there's just so much. Let me give you guys another update. The reason why I did not stay consistent in 2023 into 2024 with this show is because there was a lot of madness going on at the place where I was employed at that time. And it was like a light bulb just went up and said, nah, this is like a whole setup for failure for me, and this is not going to work out for me. So I need to make a change ASAP. Something so pivotal happened there. The show must always go on. If you've been here long enough, that's one of my things. And the show still had to continue there. But I just immediately just fell into just such a dark space with that. And I just realized just how unhappy I was there, how none of it was to my benefit. And I mean, in most places, I guess you could say it could be that way. And it wasn't doing anything of a good service to everything I've worked hard for and towards with a 17-year career. And so going into 2024, I kind of had to get myself out of this really dark hole, like this really, really dark space, and just elevate and work on me and work on my goals and work on which direction I wanted my future to go into, along with my career, along with goals as a parent, as just, a woman, and I embarked on a journey of looking out for what is next. And what seemed like forever, by the time I hit into March, I was just so, for lack of better wording, but to define it the way it is, I was just so depressed with just how my life was at that moment, and just not feeling supported at all, and realizing that in what I was doing, I was just carrying a lot, and realizing that while it felt like I finally got a seat at the table, if you go back several episodes, you already know the experience before that was not so great, and I had to make such a change. And this was a great step into elevation. I realized that there was a lot that, again, was not working for me. It was not working with me towards what my goals are. And at the end of the day, I know any place one goes to, they're always going to focus on what their goals are. But I have always been very big on, you got to be happy. And you got to be happy doing what you like to do if you really like to do it. And this is still something that I like doing it. I just wasn't happy at all doing it. And I had to get myself out of that. It was a lot of months of doing the work to walk away from that and elevate. It was a lot of months of figuring out what is next for me. It was all at the same time still, because one thing about me, you're going to know I always do a great job at that. Still working on what I got to work on, and still running my household, getting my son through all of his experiences, fulfilling all the roles that I have always fulfilled, as a family woman, just everything, right? And then came a greater opportunity. And I want to just make this very clear to everybody, because besides the fact that, yes, I did that work, and yes, I got myself there, and it shows, right? It also has a lot to do with something that I was able to work for myself and with myself, and that has been leaning into my faith. And I need to mention that here, because this is something that I have definitely mentioned in the past in other episodes with y'all, that I kind of been testing the waters to lean back into my faith. There was something that happened years ago that I questioned my faith, right? And I've been very in a great spot with that. And so with how bad things got in the beginning of 2024, I leaned heavy into my faith, heavy into my faith. And thank God for that. Thank God for my mom, who, we should just be so grateful for our mothers, because she has just given me that shoulder that I also needed to lean on. And lo and behold, a great opportunity came along. Now, don't get it twisted. like in anything, there's always going to be some like, oh shit, like here we go. Like everything that I know and that I know how to do is going to get tested here. But I get the job done. I get it done. I am very proud of being able to go through all of these things and know that I'm going to come out of it successful for myself, for who I represent, for my team. And this has been by far this pivotal opportunity in my career came in June, and it has been the best 6 months ever. And I mean, maybe people might say, oh, well, it's still early on, girl. No, you don't understand. Like, it feels like it's been forever. I don't expect it to be easy. It's never boring, never a dull moment. And I gotta love it because, you know, in all of its imperfections, it's perfect for me. In all the work that it is, I am proud to be able to represent that and to say, that's me, you know. And your girl could finally say, like, she's fucking happy. What has been so amazing about this experience is that I'm once again asking what's next. And it has helped me tap into, well, why can't I get back on this mic? What is missing? Like something was just holding me back, like so far, you have no idea. And one of the things I'm embarking on, starting off in 2025, is going to be working with an amazing, which I gotta hit her up, y'all, but an amazing career coach that I networked with at an event. Shout out to the Fierce Femme Tribe and Boss Showers. People that I've met with time coming on this platform and having a podcast and being featured and just working with them and just meeting them. And, you know, networking is definitely just such a fun, just the foundation of being able to learn how to work with people, but then also elevating. And so being able to meet this person through one of those events, actually before that, I just knew, I just had this feeling that this shit was meant to be. Why is this so important? Well, because with all the other things that I've tried to work on in the past with a food and health coach and with my coach Rick, shout out to Nate and to Rick, you know, there's been the ups and downs with that, right? This is something I've talked about on the show. It's no secret. Y'all, in case y'all missed the intro and in case y'all haven't been here for all other 133 episodes, on this platform, we get comfortable being uncomfortable and no topic is off limits. Y'all, on this platform, we get comfortable being uncomfortable and no topic is ever off limits. If I am not keeping it all the way raw, who am I? I mean, I'm your favorite host, Miss D, but who am I? So, you know, with knowing all of those experiences that I have with coaches and realizing what I need for what's next, what I need to really bring all of that to the table, everything that I know I can do and I can accomplish, that I have once before, and I could do this shit again. In so many aspects of my life, I just felt that that cherry on top in this moment is that career coaching. And I'm super excited that I am going to be able to do this for myself in 2025. And I can't wait to share that with y'all. As I mentioned before, my amazing kid is going to be a whole ass adult in 2025, and y'all, he's applying for colleges. And so at this point, I am starting to realize that your girl's really going to have to start some form of a second job, maybe online, you know, probably with a subscription, with some form of content, if you know what I'm talking about. Just kidding. Or maybe not. But the thought of getting him through college and all of the financial, emotional, mental support that entails. Again, all the more grateful for my mom, all the more grateful for my parents for getting me through that. In case this is your first time here, let me give you a little disclaimer on it. When my ass went into college, I was 17. By the time I was 19, I moved out with a man. I became a mom at 21 and I was already married. So, yeah. I'm trying really hard to with all the transparency that it is of what that story was, and of course with no regrets, because I love my kid, he knows what's up, and we're embarking on now this new journey, in full transparency, but also keeping him very focused and motivated and supported. And so it's still a surprising moment in our lives, especially for me. I always say, I feel like people fooled me into believing that, once they turn 18, everything is all right. They go on their own way. No, bitch, only you did. Only I did. I decided to move out at 19, not my kid. That's not what's going to happen. And so, this is also a huge moment in my life right now, for his life as well. And so can't wait to bring you guys with me on that. On another dose, it feels nice to say that. On another dose, your girl, I think I shared it here last time, but if I didn't, here it goes. I definitely joined the dating apps world. And let me just say, I recently decided to just pause those subscriptions, memberships, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I don't know, accounts. There was 2 in particular. I paused it. I couldn't do it anymore. The amount of foolishness. And now don't get me wrong. Let's take it back a little bit here. I've definitely kept some friendships. Okay. There was a few that I dated with occasionally, and it was fun and entertaining. I shouldn't say was, because they haven't totally been excluded out. They're still in existence. But there's a lot more foolishness there. And I just do not have the time or the capacity for that. If I cannot bring y'all a consistent every week episode in these last 400 days, what makes y'all think I have time for that bullshit? I don't. So it's time. It's been time. I needed to just step away from that a little bit. Doesn't mean that not much is going on in the real world. It is. I've definitely met some gentlemen along the way in these last 400 days. And I've done, your occasional dates, and I've done some dating here, some dating there. In the spirit of casual, there have been some encounters like that. And it's been interesting. It's been an interesting experience going through all of that. And I will say this, because one thing about turning 39 and realizing that you're closer to 40, you also realize that, well, at least for me, okay? Remember, I am an expert of my experiences, y'all. You start to realize that, okay, I'm leaning into, I want an older man. And one thinks that in leaning into wanting an older man, you're going to get a lot more maturity, and you're going to get a lot more confidence, and you're going to get, if all else fails, at least like a sense of a man who knows all about his own self-love and his own, self-admiration and being secure and all that good stuff. And that's not always the case. I've definitely encountered with some that, and it's not to shame them, it's just realizing that as a woman, we sometimes think, or at least I have definitely been in circles with other women, and at least for myself, that, it's just us. No, men go through their own bullshit too. And when they go through their own bullshit, it reflects. And they could sometimes project that shit too. And again, it's not to shame anybody. It's just, y'all, again, I'm keeping it raw. I'm going to tell y'all like it is. It's not to excuse, or it's not to find reason, because I'm also not going to excuse myself. But, because I'm not perfect. But it's definitely been an experience. And what I can say is, as I am getting closer to 40, I have been so adamant about me just wanting peace and wanting to be happy and not wanting anybody disrupting that shit. I am realizing just how much time really is of the essence, and I don't like to waste any of it. I don't like anybody wasting mine at all whatsoever. And while I've always been one to say patience is a virtue, well, ladies and gentlemen, I got to update on that too. My patience is wearing thin. And that is just in general. It's not towards anyone in particular. I just don't have time. I do not have time for the fuckery. And I love this. I love these experiences that I've gone through. I love these journeys, little journeys, mini journeys, if you want to call them that, that I've, call them a hike. Why don't we call them a hike? Because, you know, we climb hikes sometimes. call them call them a hike, right? Not a journey. It was a little hike. I took a little hike there. And I had to get back down. Some cases I had to just get back down and I had to just gather myself, you know. And, you know, there goes another path we found, another trail to hike. You know, it is what it is. What this really has taught me is that you take your chances. Sometimes it's a little risky, some riskier than others. You take it for what it is. You learn from it. You literally grow from it, elevate from it, keep it pushing, keep it moving. And when you realize that it doesn't turn into something of greater, you know, unity, let's say, or partnership or whatever, you look at it for what it has done for you as an individual. You look at it for what have you been able to learn from this? What have you been able to do with it? What not to do again? Or if you want to do it again, who you doing it with? Being a little bit more selective. Better vetting practices. There's just so much that has come into play with this part of life in these last 400 days. Some very interesting characters. You already know I usually come on this platform with a nickname. Don't know if I'm gonna give you guys all of that, but what I can say is this: I've definitely been writing a lot more, definitely taking different practices on that. So with the journaling and just being organized and just staying on top of things, but then also for me to tap into my mental and my spiritual. And it's been great. It's been great. I'm very much so in a much better place, and I am feeling a lot happier. I've also, you know, been able to, maybe this might be a whole other episode. Like I said, I don't want to make this too long, not like a comeback, but also just like a double take. And let me give you the little bit of tea. If you guys remember in the episode 133, and if you didn't, go back and listen to it. I definitely tapped into some things about, you know, not fucking with everybody in the family. Well, I mean, that's still a very true statement. Not with everybody, but I think even growth in that looks a little different when it comes to being able to coexist and being able to still share space with people who you do call family, whether you fuck with them or not. I have some great news to share, but I'm not going to give you all the info on this other than your girl is a brand new titi again. I have a little love, a little heart that has flipped my world upside down because he's just so stinking cute and it's just so adorable. And the reason why I mention that is because sometimes it does take that to bring people together again. I think I mentioned this before in a previous episode that I had some differences with my brothers, and you know, the one that gave us this joy was one of my brothers, and I've been able to fully reconnect with him in a good space. You know, there was definitely a good way of it being approached to make amends and to just move forward together. It has been the most beautiful experience to see someone that you love so deeply, like a sibling, become a whole ass parent, and then be able to like laugh at it and be like, ooh, there is somebody who has you wrapped around his finger, and I love it. But it has been a great new journey. Now that's a whole ass journey. That's a lifetime journey. And I'm in bliss, y'all. So remember what I said, it's a whole new level of maturity, of confidence, of love. The maturity and the confidence definitely plays a lot here. The love does too, because it's not just about the self-love. There's just so much that is involved with the love. But if we are going to talk about the self-love and how mature Ms. D is and where has this confidence gone now, well, it's very simple, and I'll leave you guys with this note because that's where we're really going to tap into so many things with the episodes that are coming. Now, I intentionally did this episode with no video because I just think that I really need you guys to hear me, to really listen to what I gotta say. And then I'm gonna give you all the visuals. And these hoop earrings and the red lippies and all that good stuff and these big ass eyes. But the reason why we're coming in on this new level is because with them maturing, with a whole new level of confidence, an elevated one for that, and all this meaning around love, it still taps into all the things I've brought to this table, to this platform, to this mic, on what are boundaries, what is so intentional, what is goals, and how we're gonna make it to a point of saying, okay, cool, this is for me, this is what I want, this is how I'm gonna get there. There's so much more, even when it comes to my wants, my needs, my do's and don'ts. There's so much to who gets to step into this, and again, like I said, it's just a whole new level. I'm definitely gonna tap into all of it with you guys, and I think there's gonna be some unpopular opinion that I will be speaking on. I think there's gonna be some folks that are gonna definitely probably want to challenge it. And speaking of folks, we're definitely going to have guests back on this show. And y'all already know, what was it that I used to say? Is some juicy conversations and some friendly debates or something like that. Yeah, we're still on that. There are some of y'all who have also elevated and have been embarking on so many new things. And some of y'all that have been on this show and my listeners have definitely seen all of you just elevate so much, and there's so much more to discuss. There's so much more to share. There's so many new connections. How about that? There's so many new connections, with this maturity and this confidence and this love. And I believe that if I don't keep it all the way raw with y'all and I don't bring it all to the table, like, what the fuck am I doing? Like what are we doing? Nothing is perfect. I've said this before hundreds of times, but I'll say it one more time. I'm far from perfect, but I do know that there's a lot I'm proud of that I've been able to work on and make it work for where I want to be, and where I want to be, have been wanting to be for a very long time, has been, again, if you've been here, I've been wanting to be happy. And there's been a lot of disruptions in that. And for sure, we're tired of the disruptors. We're tired of the interruptions. We're even tired of intermissions. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. If it's not for me, I don't want it. If it's not going to serve me right, I don't want it. And that's essentially where this new level of maturity, of confidence and love is going. And so, ladies and gentlemen, it's good to be back. She's back. And it's great to be on this mic. I can't wait to connect with all of you. I think I owe you some stuff too, as far as some writing material. I may finally be able to release that. I held back on that. I know that was something that was so anticipated. I held back on it because mentally I just wasn't there, and I had to completely pull that away. What would it be for me to deliver something that, in all honesty, I was not believing myself because I was questioning so many things? But your girl is back. Your girl is back. Your favorite host is back, and we're tapping into all of it. We're releasing all of it. We're delivering all of it. We're servicing all of it, and I'm excited to be here. And on that note, guys, this has been a whole new day, a whole new week, a whole new episode on Double Dose of Raw Talk podcast. I'm your host, Ms. D, and y'all will actually be seeing me next week. Bye. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, and we are live on your favorite podcast streaming platform. Make sure to tell a friend to subscribe, rate, and review. Talk to you later. Bye.